All right. Okay. Listen. Came across this. It's very interesting. This is from the actual Black Lives Matter Instagram. Right. This is called. They didn't know how to. I didn't spell black correctly though. That's a little weird, but they forgot the A and the C. You know. I don't know. I wouldn't have. Seems like an amateur move. Am I right, guys? Anyway, verified 4.5 million followers. They put this thing up on their Instagram here, and this is what it says. So we're gonna read it. Black Lives Matter condemns the U.S. federal government's inhumane treatment of Cubans. Okay. And urges it to immediately lift the economic embargo. This cruel and inhumane policy, instituted with the explicit intention of destabilizing the country and undermining Cuba's right to choose their own government, is at the heart of Cuba's current crisis. Since 1962, the United States has forced pain and suffering on the people of Cuba by cutting off food, medicine, and supplies, costing the tiny island nation an estimated $130 billion. Now, my understanding is that like actually they've shifted through different embargoes, and at this point, like they don't deny medical supplies. Without that money, it is harder for Cuba to acquire medical equipment needed to develop its own COVID-19 vaccines and equipment for food production. This comes in spite of the country's strong medical care and history of lending doctors and nurses to disasters around the world. Couple things. First and foremost, we need to acknowledge something. Yes, the embargoes are crippling, and yes, it's to pressure Cuba to change, to move away from being like a communist country with a fucking dictator. And you could say like, yeah, it destabilizes them. What you also need to understand is that this country literally suppresses people's freedom of speech by not letting them protest. This is like people, it's so hard to explain to people, like your ability to speak and criticize your government is massive. Could you imagine that when the riots were happening over the summer, that the United States government stopped all the protesting? They cut the internet access. They stopped people from being able to protest. Do you think that would be fair? No, because the government is actively trying to suppress freedom of speech of the people. And so fundamentally, a government that doesn't provide freedom of speech to their people is a bad government. That's why they're getting pressured. There you go. It's not hard. You want to sit here and pretend like there's no fault of the Cubans, of the Cuban government. Meanwhile, all Cubans in the United States are fucking conservative. Like Cuban Americans are incredibly conservative. Why do you think that is? Because they escaped an oppressive government, and they don't like that they don't have their fucking their freedom of speech. It's crazy. Secondly, as to the like Cuba having good healthcare, it's not that bad, but you also have to understand that like people often criticize the United States for like shitty healthcare, which there's truth to that. But you want to know one of the reasons why Cuba has good healthcare? They're not fat. I'm being serious. When you're overweight, you're killing yourself. You know how expensive fat people are? Like the number one cause of death in the United States is obesity related. We would have a profoundly better healthcare system if we would just all stop being fat. It's the truth. People in Cuba aren't fat. That's a big reason. And we like to pretend like that doesn't exist, but like the disgusting fucking poison that we shovel into our faces is killing us. It's fucking killing us. So to pretend it's all healthcare when a lot of it's just preventative care through eating decent food. And we don't acknowledge that though. And that's because you can't be fat in Cuba. The people of Cuba are being punished by the U.S. government because the country has maintained its commitment to sovereignty and self-determination. United States leaders have tried to crush this revolution for decades. Instead of international amity, is that how you say that? Respect and goodwill, the U.S. government has only instigated suffering for the country's 11 million people, of which 4 million are black and brown. Oh, of course, because they're black and brown. So that's got to be the reason why we hate them. They're all Cuban. I would imagine most of Cuba is Cuban. So, like, what the fuck? Now it's erasing. Again, it's because they have an oppressive dictatorship that suppresses their freedom of speech. Cuba has historically demonstrated solidarity with oppressed peoples of African descent, from protecting black revolutionaries like, I can't pronounce it, was it Asanta Shakur? I don't know how to pronounce that. Through granting her asylum, to supporting black liberation struggles in, I can't pronounce any of this shit. I'm just sorry. And what is that? Angola? I don't know. I'm sorry. In South Africa. Now we look to President Biden to end the embargo, something that Barack Obama called for in 2016. This embargo is a blatant human rights violation and must come to an end. I like how they forgot about the human rights violation of not being able to fucking speak. Protests are systematically crushed in Cuba. Like, I don't understand. And I just want you to understand, this is why Black Lives Matter is back down to like the same like acceptance level as it was before the riots last year, because and opposition is up. So Black Lives Matter is just as popular as it was before everything happened over the summer with George Floyd, and now there's more opposition to it, because at the end of the day, Black Lives Matter hasn't got anything for black people. Like what have they done? All they've done is taken a ton of money and bought like a bunch of fucking like communes, and they have like the 13 fucking guiding principles of BLM. I haven't seen them support like actual economic policy outside of let's get Biden into office. Meanwhile, let's have an honest conversation. Ice-T pushed the Platinum Plan for Black Americans, which Donald Trump said he would actually enact, and Joe Biden ignored it during the election cycle and said maybe we'll worry about it later. So like I feel like the reason why I was really on board with Black Lives Matter. I wanted to see what they were going to fight for. I fundamentally support black people, and there's the specific struggle of black Americans, but Black Lives Matter as an institution hasn't done a fucking anything. What did I say? Ice Cube. Didn't I say Ice Cube? Did I say Ice-T? Bro, I'm fucking so stupid. Holy shit. Dude, I'm so fucking dumb, bro. Oh my god. Ice Cube, right? Ice Cube, Platinum Plan. Yeah, I'm fucking stupid. I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, and like when he was actually trying to get support for the Platinum Plan, everybody was trolling the fuck out of him. Because he was helping Trump, and Trump is just fundamentally evil, even though he actually was trying to help black people. You know, it's so funny, in my head, I was sitting here, and I'm like, I know it's Ice Cube, and then I ended up saying Ice-T anyway. Time to commit super slide, guys. Trigger warning. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that. Hey everyone, if you liked that video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow my Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and TikTok. All links are in the description. Also, check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me even more than you already do. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you all.